Welcome to the English Globe, everyone. I'm your host, Adam, and I'm really glad you're here with us today. Whether you are walking, relaxing at home, or sitting in your classroom, thank you for joining us. This is a place where you can learn real English through real conversations. And today, we have a powerful topic that many people ask about, especially young people, students, and workers. Today's question is, business or job? Which path leads to true success? This is not just a question about money. It's a question about life. It's a question about freedom, happiness, stress, hard work, and dreams. So in this podcast episode, we are going to explore this question step by step. But we will do it in a very simple way. We will speak clearly, slowly, and use easy words, so even beginners can understand.
Hi everyone, I'm Julia, and I'm so happy to be here with you. I know that many of you are learning English to improve your life, to find better jobs, to start a business, or maybe even to study in another country. And that's why today's topic is perfect for you. Because the choice between a job and a business is something almost every adult thinks about. What is better, working for someone or working for yourself? Getting a fixed salary every month or building something of your own? Is one path safer? Is the other path more exciting? And more importantly, which one will help you feel truly successful?
That's right, Julia. Today we are not only going to talk about this topic, we are going to help our listeners improve their English while learning about real-life decisions. We will talk about what a job is, what a business is, the good and bad sides of each, and we'll also share real stories and simple English words along the way. We'll help you build your vocabulary. We'll give you example sentences. And we'll also give you time to repeat and practice speaking during the episode. So by the end of this podcast, you'll not only understand the difference between a job and a business, but you'll also feel more confident in your English speaking and listening skills.
Exactly. And remember, there is no one answer that is right for everyone. Some people are happy with a good job. Some people dream about starting their own business. You have to think about what's best for your life, your goals, and your skills. But don't worry. We're here to guide you step by step, and we will make it simple and clear, because we want you to understand every part. Even if this is your first time listening to an English podcast, you are in the right place.
Before we begin, let's quickly explain what we mean by the words job and business. These are two key words for this episode, and if you are learning English, it's very important to understand them clearly.
A job is when you work for a company or for another person. You get paid for the work you do. For example, if you work in a bank or a school or a restaurant, you have a job. You usually work at fixed times, maybe from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and you get a salary every month.
Yes. And usually in a job, you have a boss. That means someone who tells you what to do. You may have meetings, schedules, and tasks given by your manager or team leader. Some people feel that a job is safe because you know when you will be paid. But sometimes, jobs can also feel limiting because you must follow rules and routines.
Now, let's talk about business. A business is when you work for yourself. You are the owner. You make your own decisions. You decide what to sell, how to sell it, and when to work. You don't have a boss. You are the boss. This can be very exciting. You can be creative. You can earn more money if your business does well. But it can also be difficult, because if your business does not work, you can lose money. It's not always safe. There is more risk.
So that's the basic idea. A job is usually more stable. A business can offer more freedom and more income, but also more risk. During this podcast, We are going to talk about the details. What is daily life like in a job? What is daily life like in a business? Which one is harder? Which one is more rewarding? And also, we will keep teaching you English. We will talk about new words. We will practice speaking. We will give you time to repeat and learn.
Yes. So if you want to improve your English and also learn more about work, money, and life success, this podcast is for you. Let's make a promise. For the next 90 minutes, don't worry about anything else. Just relax, listen, and enjoy this time with us. We are here for you. We are your English friends. And we want to help you grow in your language and in your life.
That's a beautiful message, Julia. And to our listeners, if you want to take notes, you can. If you want to repeat words after us, please do. This is your learning time. So, are you ready? Let's begin this journey together. Let's explore the world of jobs and business, and let's find out which one can lead you to real success. All right, let's begin with the first big topic of our episode. What is a job? Many of you listening today may already have a job. Or maybe you're a student who will get a job in the future. Some of you may even have part-time jobs already. But let's slow down and really understand what a job is, in very simple English. A job is when you work for someone else. You do a task, or many tasks, and you get money for your work. This money is usually called a salary or a wage. You are not the boss. You have a boss. That boss tells you what to do, and you follow the rules of the company or the place where you work.
Yes, Adam. And people with jobs usually work in different places. Some people work in offices. Some work in schools. Some work in shops. Some people drive buses. Some people cook in restaurants. There are many different jobs in the world. But the idea is the same. A job is when you work for someone else, and they pay you for your time and skills. Let's give a few easy examples for our listeners. Imagine this. You are a teacher. You go to school every morning. You teach students. Every month the school pays you. That's your salary. You don't own the school. You work there. That's a job.
Or let's say you work in a supermarket. You help customers. You put food on shelves. You smile and say hello and thank you. You work 8 hours a day. The store gives you money every week or every month. That's also a job. Let's say you work in an office. You type on the computer. You write emails. You attend meetings. You work for a company. At the end of the month, you get your salary in your bank account. That's a job too.
Now let's talk about a few important English words people use when they talk about jobs. The first word is company. A company is a business organization. It's a place where people work together to sell products or services. For example, Google is a company. Coca-Cola is a company. But your local bakery can also be a company. When you work for a company, you are an employee. Another word is boss. The boss is the person who tells others what to do. The boss is usually in charge. If you have a job, you may have a boss who gives you tasks and checks your work.
Let's add some more useful words. One important word is salary. A salary is the money you get for your job every month. If you work every day, your company or your boss pays you a salary. Another word is work hours or working hours. This means the time you work each day. For example, many people work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is called a 9-to-5 job. And here's another word, promotion. A promotion is when your job position goes higher. You get more responsibility. You may also get more money. For example, you work as a sales assistant. After 1 year, your manager gives you a promotion, and now you are a team leader. That's a promotion.
That's right, Adam. Let's review those words again slowly so our listeners can remember. Company, a business where people work. Boss, the person who gives you tasks. Salary, the money you get every month. Work hours, the time you work each day. Promotion, when your job position goes higher. Now let's try some practice sentences. Dear listener, when you hear a sentence, try to repeat after me. Okay?
Let's do it. I'll say the sentence slowly. Then Julia will ask you to repeat. Let's begin. I work in a company from 9 to 5.
Can you repeat? I work in a company from 9 to 5. Very good.
My boss is very kind.
Repeat after me. My boss is very kind. Nice.
I got my salary yesterday.
Now you try. I got my salary yesterday. Well done.
I want to get a promotion next year.
Let's say it together. I want to get a promotion next year. Excellent work. So now we understand what a job is. It's simple. You work for someone, you get paid, and you follow company rules. Jobs can be part-time or full-time. They can be in different places and in different fields, like education, health, business, transport, and more.
Let's talk a little about the advantages of having a job. That means the good things about doing a job. What are some good things about having a job, Julia?
That's a great question. The first good thing is stability. When you have a job, you know you will get paid every month. That gives you peace of mind. You can pay your rent. You can buy food. You can plan your budget. Second, many jobs have benefits. That means you might get extra things like health insurance, paid holidays, or training programs. And third, a job helps you gain experience. You learn new skills. You work with a team. You grow step by step.
Yes, Julia. Those are very important. Also, jobs help you build a routine. You wake up at a certain time. You go to work. You finish at the same time every day. This helps many people stay organized in life. And for some people, a job is a way to meet new people and make friends. When you work with others, you talk, share ideas, and help each other.
But of course, jobs also have some challenges. Things that are not easy. For example, you may have to follow many rules. You cannot always do what you want. You may feel tired after a long day. And sometimes, the pay is low or the hours are long.
Yes, and sometimes people feel like they don't have freedom. They want to be more creative or they want to work on their own ideas. But in a job, they must follow orders from their boss. That can be hard for some people. But even with challenges, many people choose to do jobs because they want safety and regular income.
So to sum up this part, a job is when you work for someone else. You have a boss. You get a salary. You may have a routine. There are good things, like safety and experience. And there are some hard things, like less freedom or long hours. But jobs are an important part of life. Most people in the world have jobs, and jobs help families, communities, and countries grow.
Beautifully said, Julia. And dear listener, if you have a job now, I hope you feel proud. Your job is important. And if you are looking for a job, don't give up. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself.
Okay, now that we understand jobs, let's move to the next part. Let's talk about something very different, starting your own business. What is a business? How is it different from a job? And what do you need to know?
Let's explore that in the next section. Stay with us and remember, this podcast is not just for English learning, it's for your life learning too. Now that we have talked about jobs, let's talk about something very different. Business. A business is when you start something of your own to earn money, and instead of working for someone else, You become your own boss and take control of everything. In a job, you follow orders, but in a business, you make the decisions, plan your work, and take the risk if something goes wrong.
That's right, Adam. In a business, you are responsible for everything. Finding ideas, creating a product or service, selling it to customers, and managing the money. You can start a small shop in your town, open a food stall, teach students online, or sell clothes using the internet. All of these are examples of different kinds of businesses.
Let's make this easier with a simple example. Imagine you love baking cakes, and one day you decide to sell them in your neighborhood. You buy the ingredients, make the cakes yourself, and sell them to people who want to buy. You don't work for any bakery. You are the bakery. This is what it means to run a small business.
Here's another example. Let's say you buy t-shirts at a low price, design them with cool pictures or messages, and then sell them online through a website or on social media. You talk to customers, answer questions, and send the products. You control everything: the designs, the price, and the marketing. And that's what business is about.
There are some important words we should learn here. The first word is profit, which means the extra money you earn after paying all the costs. For example, if you spend $10 to make something and sell it for $15, your profit is $5, and that is your reward for doing business.
Another important word is loss, and that means the opposite of profit. If you spend $10 to make a product, but you can only sell it for $8, then you lose $2. And this is a risk that every business person must be ready to face.
There's also the word customer, which means the person who buys your product or uses your service. If you are in business, it is very important to keep your customers happy because they are the people who give you money and support your work.
Let's try a few longer sentences together so our listeners can practice. Please repeat after me, slowly and clearly. I want to start my own business so I can have more freedom and control over my life. My dream is to open a small shop and sell handmade clothes to people in my town.
I know that starting a business is not easy, but I am ready to work hard and take the risk. If I keep learning and improving, I believe my small business can grow bigger and better.
Great job, everyone. Now let's talk about the benefits of having a business, or in other words, the good things about being a business owner. The first big benefit is freedom. You can work when you want, where you want, and how you want. Nobody tells you what to do, because you are the one in charge.
The second benefit is that you have the power to make your own decisions. If you want to try a new idea, you can try it. If you want to change something, you can do it. In a business, you are not waiting for someone else's permission. You are the decision maker.
Another benefit is that your income can grow. In a job, your salary is usually fixed, but in a business, if you work hard, get more customers, and manage your work well, there is no limit to how much money you can make. Some businesses start very small but become very successful over time.
But business also has many challenges, and we must talk about them honestly. One of the biggest challenges is risk. You may invest your money, time, and energy, but the business might not make money at first, or it may even fail, and that can be difficult to handle.
Yes, and when you have a business, you often have to work more than in a job. In the beginning, you might work every day, including weekends, because everything depends on you. You might feel tired, stressed, or worried because success is not always quick or easy.
Also, in a business, there is no guaranteed monthly income. In a job, you usually get paid on time, but in a business, there may be some months where you make a lot of money and other months when you make nothing. This is something every business owner must be ready for.
So, to sum up this part, a business is when you work for yourself, sell products or services, and try to make a profit. It gives you freedom, control, and the chance to earn more. But it also comes with hard work, risk, and stress, especially in the beginning.
That's a great summary, Julia. Some people enjoy the safety and routine of a job, while others prefer the challenge and adventure of running a business. Both paths are good. It depends on your personality, your goals, and your lifestyle.
And that brings us to the next big question, which we will talk about in the next part of this episode. Which is better for you, job or business?
Yes, so stay with us, dear listener. In the next section, we will compare the two and help you think about which one might be the right choice for your future.
Now that we have learned about both jobs and businesses, let's talk about something many people ask. Which one is better? This is not an easy question because it depends on many things like your goals, your personality, your skills, and your situation in life. Some people feel happy and safe in a job because they know they will receive a fixed salary every month. They can plan their life, and they don't have to worry about taking big financial risks. This gives them peace of mind and helps them focus on other parts of their life, like family or studies. But for other people, this kind of life feels boring or limited. They don't like the idea of doing the same thing every day, following someone else's rules, and waiting for years to get a small promotion or a little salary increase. They dream of doing something new, taking control of their work, and building their own path with freedom and creativity. For these people, a business feels more exciting and meaningful because they get to make decisions, try new ideas, and work on something that belongs to them.
Let's also talk about money. In a job, you usually know how much money you will earn each month. Your salary is fixed, and you may also receive some extra benefits like health insurance, travel support, or bonuses. This helps you plan your life in a stable way. But in a business, the money you make can change every month. In the beginning, you may earn nothing at all, or you may even lose money. But if your business becomes successful, you can earn more than most jobs, and there is no limit to how high your income can grow.
Another big difference is about time. Most jobs have fixed working hours, like from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 5 or 6 days a week. After work, you are free to relax or spend time with family. In a business, especially in the beginning, you may have to work many extra hours, even on weekends or holidays, because everything depends on you. You are the boss, the worker, the planner, and the problem solver, all at the same time. But if your business becomes strong, later you can have more free time than a regular job offers.
Let's also compare the pressure and responsibility. In a job, you may feel pressure from your boss, from customers, or from deadlines, but usually the big problems are not your responsibility. You do your work, and someone else makes the final decisions. But in business, all the pressure is on your shoulders. If something goes wrong, you have to fix it. If a customer is unhappy, you must handle it. If money is not coming in, it's your job to find the solution. This can feel heavy, but it also helps you grow stronger and more confident.
There's also something important called learning and personal growth. In a job, you often do the same type of work every day, and sometimes your role doesn't change much for years. You may learn slowly and only in one area. In a business, you have to learn many different things quickly, like talking to people, selling your product, using technology, managing money, and solving problems. This makes you smarter, more creative, and more ready to face different situations in life.
And let's not forget about passion and happiness. Some people love their job because it helps them do what they care about, like teaching, helping others, or working in hospitals. They don't need to run a business to feel happy or proud. But if you have a dream to create something of your own, to build a company, or to start a new idea that helps people, then a business might give you more joy and meaning in your work.
So, as you can see, both job and business have their own good points and bad points. A job gives you safety, structure, and a clear path. A business gives you freedom, high income potential, and the chance to grow in many ways. Neither one is better for everyone. It depends on your goals, your personality, and what kind of life you want to build.
That's right, Julia. The key is to understand yourself and your needs. If you want a peaceful, steady life with less risk, a job may be the right choice. But if you are ready to take a risk, work hard, and chase big dreams, then business might be the better path. In the next part of our podcast, we'll help our listeners think deeply by asking some important questions. Questions that can help them choose the right path for their future. Welcome back, everyone. In the last part of our podcast, we discussed the differences between having a job and running a business. We talked about money, time, pressure, learning, and passion. Now, in this part of the podcast, we want to help you think deeply about your own life. We want to ask some important questions that can help you decide which path is better for you, job or business. Remember, there is no perfect answer for everyone. It all depends on your own situation, your goals, and your personality. So, let's take this slow and talk through each question, one by one.
Yes, and as you listen to us, try to think carefully and honestly. Don't just listen with your ears, listen with your heart, because this choice can shape your future. So, the first question we want to ask is this: what kind of life do you want? This is a big question, but it's also the most important one. Do you want a life that is safe, calm, and steady, where things are mostly predictable and you don't have to worry about big changes all the time? Or do you want a life full of challenges, new experiences, ups and downs, where you might not always know what will happen, but you will have the chance to grow and build something of your own?
That's a beautiful way to put it, Julia. And this brings us to our second question. How much risk can you handle? In a job, the risk is low. You usually know your tasks, your schedule, and your income. But in a business, you have to take risks often. You might risk your time, your money, and even your energy without seeing results right away. Some people enjoy this. They feel excited when taking risks. But others feel stressed, anxious, or tired when things are not certain. Ask yourself, do I feel okay when things don't go as planned? Can I stay calm and keep trying even when I fail?
That's right, Adam. And here is another important question. How do I feel about working under someone? In a job, you usually have a manager or a boss. They give you tasks, set deadlines, and sometimes tell you how to do your work. If you enjoy being part of a team and following direction, that might feel comfortable. But if you want to make your own decisions, choose your own time, and lead your own way, then a business may feel more satisfying. So think carefully. Do you prefer structure and guidance, or do you want full control and independence?
Let's move on to another key question. How important is financial stability to me? In many jobs, your salary is fixed. Even if your company is not doing great, you usually still get paid. That makes it easier to plan your expenses, like rent, food, school fees, or travel. But with business, especially in the beginning, your income is not guaranteed. Some months might be great and others may be difficult. Ask yourself, can I handle a few months with little or no income? Do I have savings or support to help me if things get tough?
Exactly. And this leads to another important question. Am I ready to wait for success? When you start a job, success may come slowly, but you usually feel it step by step. You may get promoted after a few years, or receive a bonus after good performance. Be put in a business, success often takes more time. You might have to work very hard for months or even years before you see big results. Sometimes you fail and have to start again. So ask yourself, am I patient enough to keep going, even when I don't see fast results?
That's very important, Julia. Now here's another question. What are my skills and strengths? Some people are great at communication, selling ideas, and building relationships. These are useful skills for business. Others are very good at focusing, following rules, and working in a team. These are helpful in jobs. You don't have to be good at everything, but it helps to know what you're naturally better at. So, think about this. What are my strongest skills? And how can they help me succeed in a job or in a business?
And don't forget to ask yourself, what do I enjoy doing every day? Your work will take up many hours of your day, and your happiness will depend a lot on whether you enjoy it or not. Do you enjoy teaching, helping, or organizing things? Maybe a job is a better place for you. Do you enjoy planning, leading, creating new ideas, or solving problems? Then a business might give you more joy. So think about your daily energy. What kind of tasks make you feel excited and alive?
Yes, and here's another question that people often forget. How do I deal with failure? No matter what path you choose, you will face problems and setbacks. But in a business, failure can feel more personal because you are the one who made the decisions. In a job, you might get feedback or correction from your boss, but you still have support. So ask yourself, can I learn from my mistakes and try again without losing confidence? Do I see failure as a lesson or as something to avoid?
That's a powerful question, Adam. I also want to ask one more. What kind of future do I dream about? Imagine your life in 5 or 10 years. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be working in a stable job with a good company, a strong career, and a balanced life? Or do you dream of building your own company, leading a team, and creating something that grows with your name on it? Your dream doesn't have to be big or small. It just has to be yours. So take a moment and really picture your future. What do you see?
Julia, I think that's the perfect way to help our listeners reflect. So, friends, if you're listening right now, maybe you can take a notebook and write down your answers to these questions. Be honest. Don't worry about what others think or what society says. Your journey is your own, and your answers will guide you to the right choice, job or business. The more you understand yourself, the easier it becomes to make a smart and happy decision.
Yes, and remember, it's okay to start with a job and later move into business. Or you might run a business now and decide later that a job suits your life better. Life is not a straight line, and sometimes we need to try different things to know what's best for us. There's no shame in changing direction. What matters most is that you keep growing, keep learning, and keep listening to your heart.
We hope this part of the podcast helped you think more clearly. In the next section, we're going to talk about real-life stories. People who followed both paths and found success in their own way. Their journeys will show you that no matter which road you take, with hard work and belief in yourself, you can reach your goals.
So, stay with us, friends. You are listening to the English Globe, and we are here to guide you, support you, and help you grow in your English learning and your life journey. Let's take a short break and we'll be right back with inspiring stories of real success.
Welcome back, dear listeners. In the last section, we asked many important questions to help you understand yourself better. Those questions are like a mirror. They help you see what kind of life you want to live. Now, in this part of the podcast, we want to share something special. Real-life stories of people who took different paths. Some chose jobs, and some started their own businesses. These stories are not just about making money. They are about finding happiness, following dreams, learning from mistakes, and building a life that feels right. We believe that real stories can teach us more than just advice, because they show us what is truly possible.
Yes, Adam. Let's start with a story about a young woman named Maria. She grew up in a small town, and her family didn't have much money. From a young age, she wanted to help people, so she studied hard and got a job as a nurse in a hospital. Her salary was not very high at first, but she loved her work. She took care of many sick people and always had a kind smile. After a few years, she took extra training and became a head nurse. Her salary improved, and she also got more respect and responsibility. Today, Maria still works in the same hospital, and she says that her job gives her meaning. She doesn't care that she's not rich. She says that helping people every day makes her feel rich in her heart.
That's a very beautiful story, Julia. Maria shows us that success is not always about money. For some people, doing something meaningful every day is true success. Now let's look at another story. This one is about a man named Faisal. He finished his degree and started working in a company as an accountant. He was very smart and worked hard, but he always felt like he wanted more. After 5 years, he decided to leave his job and open a small business, a store that sells healthy snacks. At first, it was very difficult. He had to work 12 hours a day, and sometimes he didn't make enough money. But he didn't give up. He learned how to market his products online, and slowly, more customers started to come. Today, Faisal owns 3 stores, and he has a small team of workers. He says he enjoys the freedom to make his own choices and the joy of building something from zero.
What a great example, Adam. Faisal's story tells us that success in business takes time, hard work, and patience. It also shows that failure at the beginning is normal, and it can teach you important lessons. Now let's talk about someone who found success by staying in a job for a long time. Her name is Priya, and she works in the IT industry. She started as a junior programmer, and for many years she kept learning new things. She always took feedback seriously and worked well with her team. After 10 years, she became the manager of her department. Her job gave her a stable life, and because of her steady salary, she was able to travel, support her parents, and even buy her own house. She says she never wanted to take big risks, and for her, growing slowly in a company felt safe and smart.
Priya's story is important because many people think that only business can make you successful. But that's not true. If you work hard, keep learning, and stay focused, a job can give you many rewards. Not only money, but also respect, peace of mind, and a good future. Now, I want to share one more inspiring story. This one is about 2 friends, Ahmed and Rina. They were both tired of working regular jobs. They had a dream to start a small food truck that sells home-style meals in their city. They had very little money, but they believed in their cooking and their teamwork. So they started small, just 1 truck and only a few dishes. Every day they cooked fresh food, talked to their customers with love, and used social media to show their food. After 1 year, their food truck became popular. Today, they run a chain of food trucks, and they say that their business is not just about food. It's about bringing joy and community through cooking.
That story really touched my heart, Adam. It reminds us that success often begins with a small dream. Even a small step, when done with passion and effort, can grow into something big. It also shows that you don't need to be alone in business. Having a good partner or a supportive friend can help you face hard times. Now let's also talk about balance. Some people choose to do both, job and business at the same time. For example, there is a man named Daniel. He works as a teacher during the day, but in the evenings, he runs an online bookstore. He started this side business because he loves books and wanted to earn a little extra money. Over time, his online bookstore grew, and now he earns almost as much from his business as he does from his teaching job. He says he enjoys both. Teaching gives him a sense of purpose, and his business gives him freedom and creativity.
That's a smart choice, Julia. Many people today do a job and run a side business at the same time. This is a great way to learn business slowly without taking a big risk. You can keep your salary and also explore your business idea. If the business grows well, you can decide later if you want to make it full-time. So, listeners, as you hear these stories, we want you to remember there is no one perfect way to find success. Some people feel happy in jobs, some in business, and some in doing both. What matters most is finding the path that fits your life, your goals, and your dreams.
And it's also important to learn from other people's journeys. Every successful person has faced some kind of failure or difficulty. The road is not always smooth, but they didn't stop. They kept moving, kept learning, and kept believing in themselves. You can do the same. It doesn't matter where you come from or how much money you have. What matters is your desire to grow, your discipline, and your mindset. Believe in small steps, trust the process, and stay open to learning every day.
So, dear listeners, we hope these stories have inspired you. Whether you want to grow in your job or start your own business, remember that you have the power to choose your path. You can write your own success story. In the next part of our podcast, we will share some practical tips, things you can do today to prepare yourself for success, no matter which road you take. So stay with us. We're just getting started. Now that we have shared some real stories of people who found success in both jobs and businesses, let's take a moment to talk about something very important. The practical things you can start doing today if you want to build a better future for yourself, whether you decide to work for a company or start something on your own, because dreams are beautiful, but action is what turns those dreams into real success.
Yes, Adam. And the first tip is very simple but very powerful. Always keep learning new things because the world is changing so fast. And if you want to grow in your job or grow your business, you must keep your mind fresh, open, and full of knowledge. So make time every week to read, listen to podcasts, take short courses, or talk to people who can teach you something new.
That's true, Julia, and learning doesn't always have to be big or expensive. Even learning one new skill every month can change your life over time. For example, if you are working in a company, you can learn how to communicate better, how to manage time, or how to use a new tool or software. And if you're running a business, you can learn about marketing, customer service, or how to manage money wisely.
And speaking of managing money, here's our second big tip. Be smart with your finances. Because whether you have a stable salary or your income comes from your business, you need to know how to save, how to budget, and how to invest your money so that it grows, not just gets spent, because even a small mistake with money can create big problems later, and good habits with money can bring you peace and freedom.
Yes, I agree 100%, Julia, and let's not forget. Always live below your means in the beginning. Whether you are earning a little or a lot, don't try to show off or spend just to feel rich, because real success is not about spending money to look successful, but using your money wisely so you can build something that lasts. And if you want freedom later, you must make small sacrifices now.
Exactly, Adam. And here's the third tip. Build strong habits and routines. Because success is not just one big lucky moment. It is the result of small daily actions, like waking up early, planning your day, finishing your tasks on time, and staying focused even when things feel boring or difficult. So create a simple routine and try to follow it every day, because discipline is more powerful than motivation.
That's so important, Julia. And I want to add one more thing to that, which is take care of your health and energy, because if you are always tired, sick, or feeling low, you won't be able to work well in a job or run a business with passion. So eat well, sleep enough, take breaks, and move your body. Even a short walk every day can help clear your mind and keep your energy strong.
Very true, Adam. And another tip is about your people skills. Learn how to work well with others, because whether you are working in a company or selling your product in a market, you will always need to talk, listen, and understand people. And if you can build good relationships, people will want to work with you, help you, and even open new doors of opportunity for you.
That brings us to another important idea. Build a strong network. And what we mean by that is not just collecting contacts or business cards, but really connecting with people, learning from them, supporting them, and growing with them. Because the more good people you know, the more you will learn, and the more chances will come to you from places you never expected.
Yes, and don't be shy to ask for help or advice. Successful people are not afraid to ask questions or learn from others. They know that they don't know everything. So if you are starting something new, find someone who has done it before and ask them how they did it. And even if they don't give you all the answers, their words can save you from many mistakes.
I love that, Julia. And one more big tip is this. Don't be afraid to start small, because many people wait for the perfect time or perfect idea. But success often begins with a small step. One small blog post, one small online shop, one small extra job. And over time, those small steps become something big. So don't wait forever. Just start with what you have and learn along the way.
That's such good advice, Adam. And let's also remind our listeners that failure is not the end. It is part of the journey, and every successful person has failed many times before they reach their goals. So if you try something and it doesn't work, don't give up. Ask yourself what went wrong, what you can learn, and how you can try again in a smarter way.
Yes, Julia. And remember, confidence doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from doing things again and again until you become better. So take action, even when you are nervous, and step by step, your skills will grow, your belief will grow, and one day you will look back and feel proud that you didn't stop when things were hard.
And finally, the last tip is this. Define what success means to you, because if you don't know what you really want, you will always feel lost. So take time to ask yourself, do I want freedom or security? Do I want adventure or stability? Do I want to build something new or grow slowly in a system that already exists? There is no wrong answer, but you must be honest with yourself.
That's a perfect ending, Julia, because success is not the same for everyone, and only you can decide what makes you happy, what gives your life meaning, and what kind of journey you want to take. So whether you choose to work in a job, start a business, or do both, just keep learning, keep growing, and keep walking your path with courage and love. Julia, now that we've talked so much about jobs, businesses, success stories, and practical tips, I think it's time to focus on one of the most important questions. How can someone really decide what is right for them? Because we all have different lives, different dreams, and different situations, so it's not always easy to choose between starting a business or getting a job.
That's a great point, Adam, because many people feel confused when they are young or just starting out, and they think they have to choose quickly or follow what others are doing. But the truth is, your path is personal. And the first thing you need to do is look deeply at yourself and understand what you enjoy doing, what your strengths are, and what kind of life you want to build.
Yes. And one way to start is by asking simple but powerful questions like, do I like routine and structure, or do I enjoy flexibility and taking risks? And, am I good at following instructions, or do I prefer creating new ideas and leading others? Because your personality plays a big role in your success, and the better you know yourself, the better decision you will make.
Exactly, Adam. And another thing people should look at is their current situation. Do you have money saved up? Or do you need a regular income right away? Because starting a business can take time to make money, while a job usually gives you a steady paycheck every month. So it's important to think about your needs and responsibilities before making a big decision.
That's true, Julia. And age can also be a factor, because someone who is 18 may have more freedom to try and fail and try again, but someone who is 35 with a family may prefer a job first and build a business slowly on the side. So there is no one-size-fits-all answer. It really depends on where you are in your life and what matters most to you.
I completely agree, and we should also talk about skills. Because if you have strong technical or communication skills, you may do well in business. But if you are just starting and learning, a job might help you grow and gain experience before you step into something bigger. So don't rush. Take time to learn what you need and grow step by step.
And let's not forget mindset. If you want to start a business, you must be ready for ups and downs. You must be okay with not knowing all the answers, and you must be ready to keep trying when things go wrong. But if you want more security, support, and clear direction, a job can be a wonderful way to grow, and you can even build something on the side later.
Yes. And one more thing. Talk to people who are already doing what you want to do, because a short conversation with someone who has walked the path can teach you more than hours of reading. So ask them how they started, what challenges they faced, and what advice they would give to someone like you. These real stories can open your eyes and help you decide with more confidence.
That's such great advice, Julia. And to everyone listening, remember that your first choice doesn't have to be your final choice, because life is full of changes. And many people start in jobs and later become business owners, and some try business first and later find joy in working for a great company. So be open to learning and growing, and don't be afraid to change direction when it feels right.
And don't compare yourself to others. Just because someone else is making a lot of money or doing something exciting doesn't mean it's the right thing for you. Because real success comes when you feel proud of who you are and the life you're building, not when you try to follow someone else's path. So take time, trust your heart, and make the decision that feels right for you.
Beautifully said, Julia. And remember, every path has its own struggles and rewards, so whatever you choose, just give it your best. Keep learning, stay patient, and believe in yourself, because your success story is still being written, and you have the power to shape it with your choices and your actions. Now it's time for one of our favorite parts of the podcast, questions from our amazing listeners. We asked people to send us their questions about choosing between a job or a business. And today, we're going to read some of those questions and try to answer them in a simple and helpful way. Because we believe that when one person asks a question, many others are thinking the same thing too.
Yes, Adam. And thank you to everyone who shared their thoughts and questions with us. These questions help make our podcast more real and useful. Let's start with the first one. A listener from India named Ramesh wrote to us and asked, "I have a small job now, but I really want to start a business one day. How can I make that change step by step without taking a big risk?"
That's a great question, Ramesh, and it's one many people are thinking about. The first step is to keep your job while you start building your business idea in your free time, like evenings and weekends. You can test your idea slowly, learn about your market, and try small things without spending too much money. This way, you keep earning while learning, and when your business starts growing, you can think about leaving your job if it feels right.
I love that advice, Adam. It's always better to build your confidence before taking big steps. Okay, the next question comes from Sarah in Egypt. She asked, "Is it possible to be happy and successful in a job? Because many people say only business brings freedom and success."
That's such an important question, Julia. And the truth is, yes, you can absolutely be happy and successful in a job. Many people grow in their careers, earn well, travel, learn new things, and feel proud of their work in companies. Success is not only about money or freedom, it's also about doing work you enjoy, growing as a person, and feeling secure and respected. Everyone's path to success looks different.
Exactly, Adam. And we should never think one way is better for everyone. Okay, here's another good one. This is from Alex in Brazil. He asks, "What if I start a business and fail? Won't people laugh at me or think I'm not smart?"
Oh, Alex, thank you for being honest. Many people worry about this. But here's the truth. Failing is a part of growing. Every successful business person has failed at some point. And real learning comes from trying, making mistakes, and trying again. If someone laughs, it says more about them than about you. You are brave for trying something new. Respect yourself, and don't worry about small minds.
Beautifully said, Adam. And remember, people who never try also never fail. But they also never grow big. Okay, our next listener is Ahmed from Pakistan. He says, "I want to do business, but my family wants me to get a government job. What should I do?"
Ahmed, this is very common in many countries. Families often want what feels safe and stable, but life is your journey. First, understand why they want this. Maybe they are worried about your future. Then, talk with them kindly. Show them your plans, your goals, and explain how you will manage risks. Maybe you can take a job first, gain experience, save some money, and slowly build your business idea on the side. You can find balance if you stay patient and clear.
That's such thoughtful advice. Families want to protect us, but it's important to follow our passion too. Okay, let's take one final question. This one is from Mariam in Nigeria. She writes, "How do I know if I'm ready to leave my job and do business full-time?"
Great question, Mariam. Leaving a job is a big step, so first, make sure you have enough savings, at least 6 months of living expenses. Second, your business should already be earning some money, even if it's not perfect yet. Third, you should feel mentally strong, ready for challenges, ready to learn, ready to face hard days without giving up. If these things are in place and your heart is ready, it may be time.
That's right. And even then, remember, You can always return to a job if things don't work out. Nothing is forever. Life is full of second chances. Thank you to all our listeners for these wonderful questions. We hope our answers helped you feel more confident and clear about your path.
And remember, no question is silly or small. If you're thinking it, others are too. Always ask, always learn, and always believe in your ability to create a better future. Your journey is unique, and your success will come with time, effort, and faith in yourself. As we come to the end of this podcast episode, we want to take a moment to speak directly to you, the listener. Whether you are thinking about starting a small business, applying for your first job, switching careers, or just learning more about yourself, remember this important truth. There is no perfect path, and there is no one answer that works for everyone, because success is personal and depends on your goals, values, and dreams.
That's right, Adam. We've talked about many things today. The benefits of jobs, the freedom of business, the risks, the rewards, the challenges, and the real-life experiences of people who follow different paths. And the one thing we hope you remember most is that your journey is your own, and it's okay to take time, to ask questions, to make mistakes, and to grow at your own speed.
Maybe today you feel confused or afraid of making the wrong choice. That's completely normal, because choosing a career path is not just about work. It's about your life, your future, and your happiness. Don't rush yourself. Instead, start small. Try something. Learn something new. Take one step today and another one tomorrow. Success is not a race. It's a steady walk in the direction that feels right to you.
And if you ever feel lost, look inside. Ask yourself what you really want. Ask yourself what kind of life would make you smile when you wake up in the morning. Some people want adventure and risk. Others want peace and routine. Some people want to lead. Others want to support. There is no wrong answer, as long as it's true to who you are.
Also, don't be afraid to change your mind. You can start with a job and later build a business. You can run a business and later decide to take a job again. Life is full of seasons, and every season teaches you something valuable. Be open, be flexible, and most of all, be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned, because that's how you build real success.
And real success, Adam, is not just about money or titles or freedom. Real success is about waking up with purpose, sleeping with peace, and feeling proud of the choices you make each day. If your job gives you that, it's a success. If your business gives you that, it's a success. It's not about what the world calls success. It's about how you define it in your own heart.
Thank you so much to everyone who joined us today on the English Globe. We're honored that you spent your time with us, learning not only English but also ideas that can help you grow in life. We hope our simple words and long sentences helped you practice your listening and feel inspired to think about your future with hope and confidence.
And don't forget, no matter where you are in the world, no matter your background or education, you have something special inside you. You have the power to create, to grow, to change your life one decision at a time. Stay curious, keep learning, and believe that your dreams are possible.
We'll see you in the next episode, where we'll continue to explore new topics, real conversations, and simple English that helps you speak and understand better every day. Until then, stay focused, stay strong, and remember, your journey is just beginning.
Bye for now, everyone. Keep going and never stop believing in yourself.